I'm Owen Bigland. This is the Inside Edge video blog. Okay, the much anticipated blog here. I'll talk about the coronavirus, the pandemic that has swept over the world. We are in unprecedented times right now. Basically, most of the world is shut down for this pandemic. So let me address some things as best I can. Remember, it is very early. I will try and give you what I'm seeing right now from the front lines as far as Vancouver Real Estate goes. And then on a blog next week, I'll talk a little bit more about the financial crisis that's going on in the world stock markets. But, I had some people comment last week and tweeted me saying they're very disappointed in me, Owen, because you haven't been talking about the epidemic, the coronavirus, and the world's going to end, and you're talking about taxes. Well, I had to tell a couple of these guys, I apologize if my free videos aren't living up to your expectations. But, people, a couple of things. Even this blog here is way too early for me to really speculate much on what kind of or any effect this is going to have long term on the Vancouver real estate market. What I am going to do is give you a timeline here of what the past week has been like for me. It'll kind of give you a window into a week in the life of Owen Bigland as a Vancouver realtor. But I will, update you as of today on what's kind of going on. But this is changing not even day to day, it's changing hour by hour. So I'll do my best. But a few things people have to remember. I'm not a full-time blogger. I'm a extremely busy top 1 or 2% Vancouver realtor. I sell 2-3 homes every week. I've got home inspections, working with buyers and sellers, doing marketing strategies and everything else. I love doing this blog once a week. I enjoy it. I enjoy trying to help people, and why I call it the Inside Edge, giving you kind of what's coming on from the front lines in Vancouver real estate and imparting some of my experience over the last 30 plus years. But a lot of times I don't have time to go right up to date with everything. I think a lot of people don't realize that oftentimes I don't shoot this video every week. What I'll often do is shoot 2 or 3 episodes and then load it into YouTube, just like a TV station would, and have it released over the next 3 weeks. The other thing is, I've often told people over the years here, I don't focus on a lot of short-term stuff. I definitely discuss them in my blog here over the last 10 years. But if you read my book, and I've been pounding home to people, yes, what's going on right now I'm going to address here. These things come and go all the time. They do. Maybe not quite as severe as what's going on now. This is unprecedented. But that's why I don't talk a lot about short-term market statistics or what the market does month over month. I brush on it every quarter. But as I've always said, an ape can dispense all these statistics on sales and active sales and where prices are going. It doesn't mean anything for 99.9% of the people. I tell you to focus on the long term. If you're buying a principal residence, you're going to be keeping this for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. That's all that should matter to you, because nobody knows what's going to happen in the short term. I've been pounding this for 10 years to people, yet I'll still get some of these guys on Twitter saying they're very disappointed in me because I'm not giving you my take on what's currently going on with the coronavirus. I have no idea what's going to go on with this. Nobody does. I think this is going to be, with us for years to come. I think, although I do, if you've been following me on Twitter, will tell you that this will pass. I would say by this summer, things will have gotten a lot more back to normal, probably sooner than people think, but who knows? But focus on the long term. That's all that really matters. So let me brush on a few things here. So what I'm going to do today, and that's why I don't put timelines on a lot of my videos, but I'm going to today. So I am shooting this video right now. It's Saturday afternoon, March 21st. Saturday afternoon, March 21st. So let me give you a timeline of the past week here, because people say, is the real estate market going to collapse? Is anybody buying real estate? Are people panicking? So the answer to that is no. And do I think this is going to have any long-term effect on Vancouver real estate? No. If anything, as I'll point out here, it's not for everyone. You got to have the balls to be able to do this, to put it bluntly, but it's probably a decent little buying window, which I'll explain here. But again, I know I'm not going to have people that agree with me, and some people are going to give me the thumbs down here, but I'll give you the straight goods here. A week in the life of Owen Bigland here and what's going on in pretty much in this past week has been the eye of the storm. Monday, March 16th, offer night on a West End one-bedroom condo. 5 offers, accepted offer with subjects, way over asking price. Tuesday, March 17th, I had a new listing in Yaletown. It's a 1-bedroom and den. I received 3 offers on the property. I can't disclose the selling price yet because I've got an offer to subjects that come off next week, but I will tell you that it's well above asking price. Wednesday, March 18th, a downtown condo, they were doing holdbacks on it. I was representing the buyer on this one. No offers received, no bidding war. We put an offer in below asking price, negotiated the price. We ended up getting an accepted offer under asking price. That was Wednesday the 18th. Thursday, March 19th, a listing hit in the West End, a 6-year-old building, concrete, 1-bedroom with parking. I know this building well. As a matter of fact, I had the last sale in this building late 2019. I've got an investor buyer that I'm working with right now that wants to be in the West End. The listing hit. I called the realtor right away. Are you doing holdbacks? He told me no. He is not doing holdbacks. We'll take offers anytime. I got my buyer in that afternoon, took a quick look at the unit. I wrote him an offer an hour later, subject free, below asking price. The seller countered our subject free offer. We were a little low, and we were able to negotiate a firm deal about 3 hours later. That, in a nutshell, is my week. 4 sales. I also had some home inspections on some other deals that are pending. I'm getting ready to do some listings coming up, and a lot of phone conversations with my existing sellers and some of the buyers that I'm working with. So in hindsight here, the one that I just bought on Thursday night, that is a prime unit. That unit, I think 2 weeks ago, before all this coronavirus started, that realtor would have listed it, done holdbacks for 6 or 7 or 8 days, and then looked at offers. That unit would have gotten multiple offers, and I think probably sold above asking price instead of us being the only offer, no holdbacks, put an offer with 1 day on market and bought it under ask. My one in den in Yaletown, I received 3 offers on that. Would I have received more offers without everything that's been gone on here the past week? I'm probably thinking I would have. Probably would have gotten maybe 5 or 6 offers. And of course, the more offers you get, it tends to push the prices up higher. So I guess in a nutshell, market is still rolling. There are definitely less buyers. Some buyers, like in every situation, whether it's insurance going up, pipelines, economy, they get skittish and go on to the sidelines. So in my opinion, maybe a decent buying window if you're looking to buy a property as a principal residence, long-term need, you're not overextending yourself, you're locking in a 1.9% variable rate right now. We are at historic unprecedented interest rates. You can lock in a 5-year fixed at 2.5. You're not putting every dime in. You're going to keep the property for 8 to 10 years minimum. If you can go in on a property right now, instead of getting 8 offers, only getting 2 or 3, probably a decent buying window. But I know everyone's not going to agree with me because a lot of people don't think like I do long term. And think for some reason, because I'm a realtor, I've got some vested interest in this. I got to pump the market up, which of course I don't. I've got all the clients I can handle and then some. So probably a pretty good buying window for the right buyer, the savvy buyer that's either buying it as a principal residence or as an investor, like this guy on Thursday, this client of mine, who's going to hold it for 15 or 20 years, put a tenant in it. Now, where this will go going forward, I don't know, because every morning I wake up, I look at the financial markets, I look at the news feeds, and it's just endless negative news and new stuff coming out all the time. Death rates are going up. Maybe there's more cases coming in China now. Don't have enough respirators, don't have a vaccine. It is going to be rough here for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months for sure. The city is shut down. We're in a state of emergency. California now is in a state of emergency. They don't want anyone going out. This is unprecedented times. What I feel, my biggest worry, I have no concern whatsoever with my stock portfolio or my real estate portfolio. It will recover. We'll get through this. I've been through many of these. I've been through far worse corrections than this in the financial markets. Read my book. Although, who knows? I've never had one this sharp or this violent ever. Nobody has, where the Dow drops 10,000 points in a matter of 12 or 13 days. This is unprecedented. But it will pass. The markets will recover. They will rise like a phoenix from the ashes, like I've always said, and you probably should be a buyer. But my concern right now really is with the small business owners, the servers, the bartenders, the waitresses, the trainers at Equinox, the people that run Equinox and the towels and everything else. These are, hardworking people that have now been thrown out of work. That's where my concern is. Don't worry too much about the long-term value of Vancouver real estate. Look at it as a buying window for the right people. Same thing with your stock portfolio. I worry about right now the economy and people that have been put out of work. Canada is going to get into a recession. That is absolutely for sure. We're probably already in it now with what's gone on with the oil market in Alberta, the crash in the crude oil prices. United States will also be going into a recession. I'm almost certain of it, and maybe worse. And recessions can last a year, 2, 3, 4 years, who knows? Unemployment will probably push up to over 10%. So that's the thing. That's the thing with a buyer if you're buying real estate in this market. That's why a lot of people, and I can totally understand why they're going on the sidelines. And we might even see a lot more people going on the sidelines over the next 2 to 3 months until we get some good news about what's going on with this virus. And that's going to take several months for sure before we get some good news and people's confidence might come back. But the damage is going to be done in the economy, in jobs. You're going to see stores closing up. And those are the people that I'm concerned with. And it's sad because those are the people that, they're not in a position to take advantage of this anyways, unfortunately. And that's why we're getting this marginalized, the wealthy, the haves and the have-nots. These type of things just make it worse. They do. People with money are taking advantage of these stocks and real estate purchases, and that people that are struggling paycheck to paycheck, of course, are going to fall further behind. But we are in uncharted territory here. It's going to take years to unravel what's going on here. What I see is, I'm hoping by the summer, maybe by Canada Day long weekend, things are looking a bit better, brighter. I think maybe if the sports start kicking up, baseball and some concerts and public activities come back, that might get a good boost of confidence. The government is going to step in here. They're going to waive mortgage payments for people in some cases. They're going to delay tax returns, waive the interest. Trillions of dollars of stimulus will be pumped into the economy here to help prop it up. But we're in unprecedented territory here. Moving forward, the real estate board now has stopped all open houses. They want us to limit, of course, our exposure to the public. Now, deals are still getting done, of course. Yesterday, I looked in Richmond and Vancouver. There was about 120 sales yesterday. So things are still selling. I don't know if this is kind of the last wave of buying and selling, and maybe if things get worse, it might slow. But again, when you've got interest rates, a variable rate at 1.9%, as one guy that I follow on Twitter said, we're talking free money. I'll buy a house for free money. And if you've got the long-term need and you're not overextending yourself and you're relatively secure in your job, you're not in that blast zone in the airline business or the hospitality business or hotels and travel. I feel for these people big time. They're in the blast zone. So I don't know where this is going to move going forward. I tell you, with me, I'm on the phone a lot with my clients. I've got some higher end listings, some luxury listings that I'm not getting a lot of phone calls on right now, and I'm probably not going to here until next month, and we'll see where it goes. It's kind of day by day. I've got a few listings, one for sure that I'm going to put on cancel protect for right now. Just let things blow over for 2 or 3 weeks and then revisit it. We needed to do a price reduction on it anyways, and I'll relist it at a little bit lower price. Another one I'm going to cancel protect just for a couple of weeks and then relist it. It's been on the market for a bit. Set the clock back to 0 and at the same price and go from there, kind of refresh it. You know, I've got what I'm going to call a barometer listing coming up next week. I have got an incredible house in the Grandview area, just off Commercial Drive. Absolutely incredible neighborhood, 5-minute walk to the drive. This is a detached house. I'm going to be pricing it just under $1.7 million. I'm going to move forward with the marketing on this. I'm going to list it on Tuesday. I'm going to do an agent's open sneak peek for people on Thursday for a couple of hours. And then I'm going to show it on Saturday, Sunday. Now, I cannot do open houses, but how I'm going to work this, on the weekend, I'm going to have about a 3-hour window on Saturday and a 3-hour window on Sunday. By appointment only. Realtors, their clients, I'm going to schedule them 5-8 minutes apart. It's a detached house, so there's space in there. They're not going to be crowded, unlike a condo, which is much different. You got to ride the elevator and everything else. I'll let you guys know. I'll give you an update in a few weeks how this goes, because this will be a very good barometer. This house is absolutely prime, fully renovated, amazing street, amazing neighborhood. Homes like this do not come on the market very often. That's how I'm going to market it. That, you know, don't miss your chance, and it's true. A home like this may not come on the market for a year or more. So I am expecting, even with what's going on now, to have incredible interest in this home, but we'll see. I don't know. Not being able to run the opens might actually be in my favor, because when you run an open house on a house like this, and very little is listed in this neighborhood, in a renovated house, you're going to get a lot of looky-loos that want to have a look at the house. I mean, the decorating, everything is incredible on this house. So you're going to get a lot of looky-loos, which is fine. But at least with this way, now I've got to get the clients, the buyers, through with their realtors. The realtor has to book the private showing with me. So the realtors are going to be present, and that's good to have. I'll make the odd exception if the realtor can't make it. Book a time, and I'll walk your clients through the home. So this will be a good barometer on where the market is here, and I'll keep you guys updated on it. I'm pretty certain I'm going to get multiple offers on this house, and it's going to sell probably at a record-setting price for this neighborhood, because it's that kind of house. If it doesn't, then I'll have to reevaluate it with my sellers, and perhaps even take it off the market and wait until later this spring or summer, when we've got a little bit more clarity on what is going on here, because we don't know. We're in uncharted territory. But the final thing I'll leave you with, if you've been following me on Twitter, if you want more up-to-date stuff on my thoughts and where I'm at, follow me on Twitter at Owen Bigland. I've been posting some real estate stuff on there, but I've really been pounding a lot of stuff on the stock market. And like I always do, 100% transparency with me. I put my money where my mouth is, which very few bloggers do. Very few have been in this as long as I have as well. So I put my money where my mouth is. I've been telling people some of the stocks I've been adding to, nibbling at and buying on the way down over the last week and a half, 2 weeks. And listen, I bought some stock a week ago that I'm down another 10% on it. And as I've been tweeting, I'm totally fine with that. I'm not looking to time a bottom here. I'm averaging down on these positions at incredible prices, and the yields I'm getting on these, I'm locking in at 4, 5, 6%. And these are pretty safe dividend yields, because I don't look at my portfolio on what it is as far as the total value. I look at my portfolio on what it produces for me annually in the way of dividend income. I've bulletproofed my portfolio. And even back in 08, 09, I can only think of 1 or 2 companies out of the 40 I held that either cut or eliminated their dividend. I'm going to do another blog on this in the next couple of weeks on the financial markets and how to think long-term like an investor. But we're in uncharted territory. I can also give you guys some updates coming up too on the strata insurance. I'm starting to see, as I'm selling more units here, I'm getting the insurance declarations and some of the renewals on some of these stratas. And it's all over the road, and I'll give you an update on that as well. I'm Owen Bigland. As always, thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. We'll get through this. We always do. This will pass. When it does, support your local businesses and your restaurants and your gyms and everything else. We have to. Wash your hands, stay safe, stay in, help your neighbors. If it's an elderly person that lives in your building, ask them if they need, help with groceries or whatever else. Let's all work together. We'll get through it. See you next week.